Have you ever felt completely alone in a room full of people? Or experienced that hollow ache even when surrounded by those who claim to love you? What if I told you that this profound emotional loneliness isn't a flaw in your character, but a sacred calling from your soul? Today, through Carl Jung's revolutionary insights, we're going to explore why every woman must understand emotional loneliness, not as something to escape, but as a doorway to her truest self. Society has taught us that emotional loneliness is a problem to be solved, a void to be filled with relationships, achievements, or distractions. But Carl Jung understood something profound. Emotional loneliness isn't emptiness, it's fullness. It's your psyche demanding space to breathe, to expand, to become who you were meant to be. This isn't the loneliness of isolation, it's the loneliness of individuation, the natural process of becoming psychologically whole. When a woman feels emotionally lonely, she's not broken, she's awakening. Carl Jung revealed that women carry a unique burden in the collective unconscious. You are the carriers of feeling, intuition, and emotional depth in a world that has systematically devalued these gifts. Carl Jung said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." But for women, this privilege often comes disguised as emotional loneliness. You feel alone because you're accessing parts of yourself that others cannot reach or understand. Your emotional loneliness is actually your psyche calling you home to yourself. The world fears emotionally independent women. When you stop performing emotional availability for everyone else's comfort, when you stop shrinking to make others feel bigger, something shifts. People become uncomfortable with your depth, your questions, your refusal to accept surface-level connections. They label you as too intense, difficult, or complicated. But Carl Jung understood this rejection differently. You're threatening the collective's comfort with unconsciousness. Your emotional loneliness becomes a mirror, reflecting back their own avoided depths. This is where the real work begins. In the depths of emotional loneliness, you meet your shadow, the parts of yourself you've been taught to hide or deny. Your anger, your ambition, your raw sexuality, your fierce independence. Carl Jung called this shadow integration, and for women, it often feels like emotional death. You grieve the version of yourself who sought approval, who dimmed her light, who accepted crumbs of affection. But from this emotional winter, a new woman emerges, one who knows her own worth from the inside out. The woman who has walked through emotional loneliness and emerged whole is unmistakable. She no longer seeks external validation because she has found her internal compass. She doesn't chase relationships, she attracts authentic connections. Her emotional loneliness has taught her the difference between being alone and being lonely. Alone, she is complete. Lonely was when she abandoned herself for others' comfort. Now she understands what Carl Jung meant when he said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." This transformation breaks every rule society has written for women. You stop being the emotional caretaker for everyone around you. You stop explaining your choices or seeking permission for your dreams. You stop accepting love that requires you to be smaller, quieter, more convenient. Carl Jung taught that individuation is inherently revolutionary, and for women, it's especially threatening to systems built on your emotional labor. Your comfort with emotional depth becomes your superpower, not your weakness. The woman who has integrated her emotional loneliness carries a different energy. She speaks less, but says more. She loves deeply, but without desperation. She gives generously, but maintains boundaries. Carl Jung would say she has achieved psychological wholeness, the integration of all parts of herself, including the parts society told her to hide. This isn't emotional hardness, it's emotional sovereignty. She has learned that her feelings are information, not instructions for others to follow. If you're experiencing emotional loneliness right now, Carl Jung would tell you this: you're not lost, you're being found. Your psyche is clearing space for your authentic self to emerge. This loneliness is not punishment, it's preparation. You're being prepared for connections that honor your depth, work that utilizes your gifts, and a life that reflects your true nature. The loneliness you feel today is the cocoon from which your most powerful self will emerge tomorrow. Every woman must understand that emotional loneliness is not a problem to be solved, but a mystery to be lived. It's your psyche's way of calling you back to yourself, of demanding that you stop outsourcing your emotional well-being to others and start cultivating it from within. Carl Jung knew that the journey to wholeness is rarely comfortable, but it is always necessary. If this message resonates with the loneliness you've been feeling, know that you're not alone in this experience. You're in sacred company with every woman who has ever chosen depth over comfort, authenticity over approval. Like this video if it spoke to something deep within you, share it with women who need to understand they're not broken, and subscribe for more insights that honor the complexity of the feminine psyche. Your emotional loneliness isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of your most authentic chapter.